Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of UnPontificated. Justin Trudeau loses another cabinet minister. From CTV News, Federal Housing Minister Sean Fraser is set to announce Monday, that's today, he won't run in the next federal election, creating another cabinet vacancy in the Liberal government that's expected to be filled in a shuffle as early as this week. With Fraser's announcement, there are a total of 6 cabinet ministers who have announced they won't be running again for the Liberals. In July, Newfoundland Labrador MP Seamus O'Regan announced he was remaining an MP but stepping down as Labour and Seniors Minister and not seeking re-election due to family reasons. And later in October, Economic Minister for Southern Ontario, Minister Philomena Tassi, Sports Minister Carla Qualtrough, Northern Affairs Minister Dan Vandal, and National Revenue Minister Marie-Claude Bibeau simultaneously announced they too will not be seeking re-election. Meanwhile, in September, Quebec MP Pablo Rodriguez announced his plans to leave cabinet to run for Quebec Liberal Party. And of course, Randy Boissonnault also stepped away from cabinet as employment minister last month to try and clear his name amid accusations of ethical breaches. So here we have 6 cabinet ministers who have announced that they will not be running for re-election, which will be in 2025 sometime. So guys, as you've seen in my previous episodes, I have announced that Trudeau will definitely step down by the end of March 31st, 2025. There's no way that I can see Trudeau continuing to be the Liberal Party leader. One, most of his caucus wants him to step down. Two, in every single by-election that came up in 2024, the Liberal Party has lost. And 3, his cabinet ministers are a jumping ship. They see the writing on the wall. The Titanic is sinking. It is taking on water. And they do not want to be, just, what's the saying? Rearranging deck chairs of the Titanic. Let's look at this interview. This is a poll that was done by Abacus, and that highlights the trouble that Trudeau is in.
A new poll finds if an election were held today, 44% of committed voters would vote Conservative, while 21% would vote for the Liberals and 21% for the NDP. This is according to a poll conducted by Abacus Data. Just over 2,700 Canadians were asked from November 29th to December 4th. And so for more on this and some of the other findings, we are joined live now by David Coletto. He is the founder, chair, and CEO of Abacus Data. Good to have you today, sir. Thanks for taking the time.
Hi, Lindsay. Good to see you.
A lot has been happening, obviously, over the last couple of weeks. And I think what's interesting is these polls found that those numbers stand despite the fact that the Trudeau government brought in a GST tax break. Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, flew down to talk with Donald Trump. That was obviously a move to show, who's in control here in Canada. Despite all of that, doesn't seem to be moving things, right?
Basically a year of the Liberal about 20 points behind when we asked people how they would vote. And you're right, no evidence that the GST tax holiday, that Trump getting elected, and then his threats around tariffs and how the prime minister and the government have responded have really moved anything, whether it's how people feel about the prime minister, whether it's their sense of the direction of the country or their approval rating of the federal government. All of those are holding steady or in some cases getting a little bit worse. So, the Liberals are finding themselves in a position that no matter what they try to do to respond to people's anxieties around the cost of living, around the effect that Trump's going to have, it's not making people, change their views that maybe it's time for a change in government right now.
And there you have it. So 2,700 people were surveyed, and still, with all that Trudeau has done, and I was one of the people who said that, going to Mar-a-Lago was certainly a good move. I thought he showed weakness there, but it was a good move to go down. The tax break given here at Christmas time doesn't matter. We're getting $250 in April sometime. a bribe check of some sort. Doesn't matter. I think the writing is on the wall. I don't know if Justin is that much of a narcissist to think that he can still stay on and win. But no, I think he is going to decide that, hey, you know what? I can't do this. I am going to go. The writing's on the wall. The latest polls are speaking, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. Now, today there is actually a by-election on in BC, and we'll take a look here at some of the polling that's going on regarding this by-election. So as you can see on this projection, the PCs are expected to win in a landslide, 53%. The Liberals are expected to lose. This was a Liberal riding. They won in 21. Of course, the NDP will take a backseat in this particular election. This is being held today, this by-election. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out this evening. I just wanted to highlight with that, keep an eye on that this evening. But I just wrote down the 2024 by-election results that happened this particular year. We had one in Durham, a by-election in Durham. That was on March 4th of 24, and that was won by a Conservative. That fella took 57% of the vote. Now that was a Conservative riding. It was had a Conservative in it, so they were expected to win that one anyway. But he still got an 11% uptake, like an increase in the voter share from the previous Conservative win in 21. So it still showed the dissatisfaction with the Liberals in that riding, in that vote. And then you have the Toronto St. Paul's. That one was a Liberal riding since 1988. It was basically a Liberal stronghold, but it was won by the Conservatives as well, 42% of the vote. So that's 0 for 2 for Justin. And then you had on September 16th, there were two by-elections, one in Elmwood, Transcona. Now that one was won by the NDP, and the Liberals were third in that particular one. So now again, that one is an NDP stronghold. They have held that one since 1988. In 2011, the Conservatives won, but and then the NDP took it back in 2015. But again, Liberals distant third. And then in La Salle, Amand Verdun. Now that one was won by the Bloc Québécois. It was a Liberal stronghold, but they lost 50% of their voter share that they won. And so the Bloc Québécois won that one. So again, Liberals have been 0 for 4 in by-elections this year, and look for them to be 0 for 5 in when we see what happens in the one that's happening today. The writing is on the wall for Prime Minister Trudeau. So what do you guys think? I think the announcement that's going to come today that Sean Fraser is not going to stand for re-election again, and he's stepping down as cabinet minister, is another indication that Trudeau's days are numbered. It doesn't matter what kind of shuffling he does, it won't matter. If you look at the recent Abacus polls, people are still dissatisfied with Trudeau, no matter what he does, no matter what money he gives us. More money in our pockets, doesn't matter. He can do a show of strength and, going down to Mar-a-Lago. It doesn't matter. People are totally dissatisfied with the direction of this country. And if we look at another by-election that's happening today, you will see again the dissatisfaction with the Liberals. Just in 2024, there will be 0 for 5 in by-elections. So I think the writing's on the wall. I stand by my statement. There's no reason for me to retract at this moment. March 31st, 2025, Justin Trudeau will have stepped down as leader of the Liberal Party, and we will be having a leadership convention to run in, with another leadership leader to run in 2025 in the 2025 election. That would be an interesting to see who will stand. Well, guys, it'll be interesting to hear what you guys think. Please like, please subscribe if you're getting some value from this content. It will really help me out. Hoping to have 100 subscribers by the end of January 2025. That is the goal, 100 subscribers by the end of January 2025. Help a brother out. I will see you guys on the next episode. So guys, I finished editing the video that I just wanted to post. I decided to go check out some news, and wow, Chrystia Freeland has resigned. It is over.
The breaking news has just come via a statement from Finance Minister, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, that she, in fact, is no longer going to be Finance Minister and indeed is resigning from the cabinet. I'm going to bring in Janice McGregor here, but Janice, I'm going to take some time to read this, and we're going to put it up on the screen. We've been talking for a number of days, you and I, in terms of the tensions, the reports of tensions between Minister Freeland's office and the PMO, and this has come to pass. So a note addressed to the Prime Minister from Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. We'll bring it up so you can read it along, but I'm going to read it through, talking about, firstly, the honor of her life to serve in government. We have accomplished a lot together, and here's where it begins. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your Finance Minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path is for me to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the Prime Minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made it clear that I no longer credibly enjoy that confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today so we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford and which make Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against America First economic nationalism with a determined effort to fight for capital and investment and the jobs they bring. So the statement continues, and I'm just taking the time to read it in its entirety because it really speaks to what has been going on, as she indicates, for the past number of weeks. It continues. That means working in good faith and humility with the premiers of the provinces and territories of our great and diverse country and building a true Team Canada response. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we are working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end, but how we deal with the threat our country currently faces will define us for a generation and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are smart, strong, and united. It is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented by the United States. And she indicates that she will continue to serve as Liberal Member of Parliament. Janice McGregor, I took that time because there is much in that statement. Chrystia Freeland resigning from cabinet after Prime Minister Trudeau offered her another position in cabinet, moving her out of finance. What do you make of that?
Wow, guys. Well, I'll tell you what I make of it. One, Trudeau's done. I just can't see this guy staying on anymore. Two, if Chrystia Freeland wrote that, she's a really good writer. That is a very well-written resignation letter, and I really agree with much of what she said there. Stop with the gimmicks. You know, she probably thinks this tax break at Christmas is a gimmick. The $250 check that some of us may get in April is a gimmick. Stop with the gimmicks and get serious. She's obviously feels very serious about the 25% tariffs that Trump may impose on Canadian goods. We'll see. But she's taking that seriously. According to the letter, it looks like Trudeau is not. So I don't know what Trudeau is planning. I don't know if he's got an issue with his legacy and how he's going to be perceived as a prime minister going forward. But I think he needs to get off now, because it's not getting any better for this fella. He's going to be looked at as not a great prime minister of Canada. Really, he won't be considered a good one. So there you have it. At the beginning of that clip, you saw Sean Fraser has stepped down. Now Chrystia Freeland has stepped down. These are two top cabinet ministers who have stepped down. Now, Chrystia Freeland is staying on as a Liberal MP. I didn't see any indication there that she said she won't run in 2025. I think she will. I think Chrystia Freeland is quite ambitious, and should Trudeau step down, she may run, and I think she will be encouraged to run. So there it is. That just what I turned on my computer to. Chrystia Freeland has resigned. It's fun times in Canadian politics. See you guys next time.